So guys, in this video we are going to see the loop instruction, and in the previous video we have seen the conditional jumps, and this loop instruction is like kind of conditional jump, and this loop instruction takes ECX register into consideration and loops accordingly. So if you want to loop like 10 times, you need to put the iterator value in the ECX. I mean, you need to put the like 50 or 40 in the ECX. You cannot use another register as an iterator, and it compares ECX register to 0 and jumps accordingly. So if we put the ECX register to 50, and this loop instruction jumps accordingly until the ECX register becomes 0, and it automatically decrements the ECX after the loop. So you don't need to manually decrement the ECX value. In the previous video, while we are using the jump operations, we have did everything manually, incrementing and decrementing. In this loop instruction, we no need to decrement ECX manually. It will automatically decrements the register value for us. So this is some basic theory about the loop instruction. Now let's go into our Ubuntu VM and see some examples. So now I'm going to create a new file called loops. I'm going to write the global start. Now I am going to declare a variable. For that I am writing the data section, and let's say var1 variable 1 defined by. Now like in the first video, like in hello world programs video, we will declare a variable with hello world, and the next will be the 0xa because it's the hexadecimal representation of a new line or line feed, and we will also calculate the length equals dollar minus var1. Dollar means the current instruction and the var1 means the address of the variable 1. Since these are adjacent, this difference gives us the size of this variable. Okay, now let's write the text section. Now let's say I want to print this hello world 50 times. So in order to loop 50 times, you need to put 50 value in the ECX register only. If you put the 50 value in another register, this loop instruction will not execute properly because it checks the ECX register only. Now I am going to declare another label called printing, just for our understanding purpose. Now to print something message onto the screen, we need to perform the write system call. So I am moving the write system calls number is 4 into EAX, and the first argument will be the output file descriptor, which is 1 in the case because 1 means STD standard output, right? Now we need to move the ECX, the actual content what we want to write onto the screen, into the ECX register. So we are going to write the variable 1, and lastly the number of bytes you want to write to the screen, that is length in EDX, and finally we need to say the interrupt 80. Now at last I say loop printing, and then I will exit normally using the exit system call move ax comma 1, which is the write system calls number, move ebx comma 0, which is the exit of 0, and I am going to call the software interrupt. So if we scroll up, we can see first we are moving the write system calls number into EAX, and then the first argument is where we want to write to. It means the standard output into EBX, and the actual data into ECX and the how much of that data into EDX, and finally calling the write system call. Now if you observe, we are moving the 50 into ECX, and at the same time when this label is getting executed, we have this instruction move ECX comma variable 1. So this 50 will get replaced by address of variable 1. So we cannot loop here because the 50 is being overridden by variable 1. That's why what we want to do is we need to save the ECX value. To save the ECX value, one way is you need to push ECX value onto the stack. So the stack contains the now ECX value, and before loop instruction we need to pop ECX. So the 50 value gets stored onto the stack, and then after the performing the write system call, then the ECX value gets popped into the top of the stack, which is 50, gets popped into the ECX, and then loop instruction executes. Now let's save this file. Let's assemble it using NASM. Now let's link this object file using LD. Okay, I think I did a mistake. The start. Okay, I'm sorry, I did not write the start. My bad. So now let's assemble it and link with LD. Now if we run this loops, we have printed the hello world 50 times. So we have successfully saw the loop instruction. Now we open the loops binary in the GDB debugger. I am putting the breakpoint at the start. Now let's run the program. Now the first instruction is going to be move ECX comma 32, that in hexadecimal, it means the 50 in the decimal. As you can see, ECX contains 32. Now we are inside the printing label. We can see here there is a less than, printing, greater than. This is the printing label, and we are going to push the ECX value onto the stack to save the value. Now as you can see, this 32 is the 50 and the value has been stored on the top of the stack. Now we are just printing this. Now we are storing the write system calls number into EAX, and then here we are storing the 1, which is the standard outputs file descriptor, into EBX. As you can see, EAX contains 4, and after this instruction EBX contains 1. Now we are moving the HR address, which points to the hello world string, and into the ECX. Now as you can see, ECX contains this address, and this PEDA plugin has also taken the value pointed by this address and displayed it here, hello world ration. Fine. Now we are going to write the number of bytes of this into EDX register. Now as we can see, EDX contains C, which is 12 bytes. Now we are just calling the write system call using interrupt 80. Now as you can see here, the output has been displayed. Now the top of the stack contains 50 or hexadecimal 32, then it will be popped into the ECX register. That's what this instruction does. Now ECX contains 32. Now after this instruction loop printing, ECX gets decremented by 1. As you can see, now ECX value is 31, before it was 32. And in the same way this loop continues, pushing the value of the ECX onto the stack, and then again printing the hello world, and again popping the ECX back into the, popping the top of the stack into the ECX, and then again looping. You can see the 30. So in this way the loop executes until the ECX value becomes 0. So this is one of the advantage of loop instruction, that we no need to manually decrement the ECX. It automatically decrements for